Here's something else too.
Yeah.
That one of the PFT writers has pointed out just while we've been talking about this. Ramon Foster works for the Titans. He's a sideline reporter for the Titans radio network. These people should be completely independent of any and all team. That's ludicrous to me that Ramon Foster would be a hearing officer when he works for and gets a paycheck from the Tennessee Titans. Even though he's not part of the coaching staff, you surely have to be able to find 4 people who can do these jobs who aren't working for an NFL team. I don't know how in the hell that one slipped through someone's 5-hole that Ramon Foster works for the Titans, a division rival of the Texans.
Yeah, I hear you there. That doesn't look necessarily right either. I don't disagree. I don't. I hear you there. But also, it's tough with some of these guys and a Ramon Foster and Derek Brooks. Yeah, they have ties to their old teams. I think you just got to trust they're going to try to do the most professional thing possible. But yeah, I'm with you. It's a tough look.
Derek Brooks getting paid? Is Derek Brooks getting paid by the Buccaneers?
No, he's not. He's definitely not. You're right. He's not.
That's a pretty.
There's a difference. I get it. I'm just saying. A lot of these guys got ties to their ex teams, and we could go down a wormhole. Well, he talks to his ex team's GM and blah 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 twice a week.
I understand that.
Yeah, but I know it's different than being paid.
But there are certain things.
Right.
There are certain bright line things like collecting a paycheck that would tend to be disqualifying.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
I hear you.
At least try to create an impression that conflicts of interest aren't rampant throughout the NFL. You're touching on something else, though. Conflicts of interest are rampant throughout the NFL.
That's all
so
I'm trying to say. Exactly.
That nobody bats an eye when you've got a clear conflict of interest that never, ever should have allowed Ramon Foster to be a hearing officer unless he gives up his gig with the Titans radio network as a sideline reporter.
Right.
Period.
No, I hear you. And hey, listen, your point, the NFLPA, they're in a tough spot. And I think this one is so egregious here where it's probably one where that's all they can really say. And that they're kind of telling you, right? Hey, we just hope Azeez Al-Shaair gets a fair hearing. But I think within that, they've gotten the side eye and the look from the NFL, and I'm sure just within their own building and other people in the NFLPA to go, hey, that was a stupid hit by him, and like the NFL's giving the side eye, like your players, we can't act like that after that happens. That's not a good look. And then I think you couple that with the prior history and all those type of things. That's probably where they were steadfast of like, no, he's getting 3 games. There's that one. That's a bad one. Justin Fields, I mean.
Wasn't that a late slide?
That's a late. It's late, but it's not much different than what we saw the other day.
Being sarcastic.
Oh, you're right. And he does nothing to hold up again. That's the thing there. That's what's the concern. It's kind of similar in that way. Of course, we got the Brady choke play and all of that. We got the Tony Pollard from last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it may be.
Yeah, it was prior game. This is putting his hand on the throat of Tom Brady.
Yeah. Yep. So there's some of that, and I'm sure they've kind of had their eye on him a little bit from some of the stuff he's done throughout the years.
This is just from week 12. He was fined.
That's blatant.
Just before the game. Yeah, and so history, the egregious nature of the hit, the 2 fights, they all come together into the same bucket, and it results in a 3-game suspension. I just would prefer more transparency and more specificity as to what it is, because I think ideally the NFL would have a system where everyone knows what you get in trouble for and how much trouble you get into. And I think the NFL is adamant about having the ability, case by case, to come up with whatever they think is right. Every business would love to do that. You don't want to be bound by your own precedent. You want to come up with what you think is right, regardless of what you've done in the past. And I do need to be clear on Ramon Foster.
Yeah.
There's a chance he works for Cumulus and isn't paid directly by the Titans. But we know how these team radio networks operate. If they don't like you, you're out. You work for, even if you're not being paid by the team, you're working for the team. You're approved by the team. They don't just let whoever the outside network is bring in anyone, and there's a business relationship between the Titans and Cumulus Radio. So maybe there's not a direct employment relationship. It still is close enough that ideally, but for the fact that conflicts of interest are rife throughout the National Football League, someone would say, probably not a good idea to have someone who is embedded with a team, working as a sideline reporter, be in this position. And I guess he would recuse himself for anything that directly affects the Titans, but still, and the Titans stink this year. It's not like the Titans are chasing down the Texans for a division title. I wonder if they would have not given it to Ramon Foster if you had a Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers situation right now in the AFC South. I think they shouldn't have if that was the case, but I think they shouldn't have anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't know exactly, excuse me, how that pecking order goes down there. I'm not sure how they assign people. I'm just not privy to that, and I don't think I've ever heard that. But you're right. I mean, again, in the gambling era, like we always talk about, the money, the business, all of that, these are little things that NFL could do to certainly help calm everybody's worries about these type of issues.
The process, I believe, is random, but who knows? Who knows? And they added 2 more guys this year. They've gone from 2 to 4. James Thrash is no longer doing it. They've hired 3 new hearing officers to go along with Derek Brooks just because of the volume. There's so many of these. We only hear about the big ones, the suspensions, but a lot of these fines get appealed. They handle those as well, and a lot of times you don't find out. You know, the NFL is very transparent about the imposition of the fines. We don't hear about the end result unless the player decides to make it known.
Right.
The fine was overturned on appeal. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.